change people. That's how it's always been, that's how it always will be. People are sponges. They absorb everything they see, hear, smell, touch, taste. Everyone is a combination of every single person they've ever seen, met, talked to, or interacted with. I wouldn't be who I am without every single person who has ever been in my life. People change people. And I'm going to tell you about the people who've changed me. Number one, my mom. If I had to pick one word to describe my mom, it would be intimidating. She's not a necessarily big person or anything, but she has the ability to make anybody cower in their shoes. She's wicked smart, can materialize lost things out of thin air, and is so scary, Thanos with 6 infinity stones wouldn't dare to cross her. My mom is my biggest role model in life. I want to be just like her when I grow up, and I know the chances are I probably won't. But people change people. And every single thing my mom has ever done for me has guided me down the right path. I mean, everyone says I'm a lot like her when she was little. She was an athlete, I'm an athlete. She was a fearless speaker, and I'm currently up here giving this TED Talk. And she turned out to be this really amazing person. She's an incredible saleswoman, a great daughter, and best of all, she's my mom. People change people. When it comes to role models, everyone has someone different. But those are the people you try to be like. Role models will teach you to never take anything for granted, to not let anything slip through your fingers. For me, it was my mom. For someone else, it might be their favorite athlete, their next door neighbor, their college counselor. But those are the people you try to be like. And in trying to be like them, you discover a whole new part of yourself. Number 2, my dad. I remember once when I was 4, my mom had to go to India to take care of my grandma who was sick. Now, obviously, growing children need healthy, nutritious food. So my dad attempted to make cauliflower. Keyword attempted. He tried his best, guys. Really, he did. I think a smoke alarm may have gone off at one point, but we don't talk about that. The point is, he tried to feed it to us. Safe to say, I have never put a cauliflower in my mouth since. But he tried. For me and for my sister, he ventured into wild, uncharted waters, miles beyond anything he had ever done before. And though it may not have been a particularly smooth journey across the sea, people change people. And if my mom's my role model, my dad's my rock. He's always there for me no matter what. He puts up with me through all of my nonsense and my crankiness, and he can take a pitch to the shins without so much as flinching. He's my ultimate softball coach and probably loves the sport more than I do at this point. I can honestly expect him to get up and go to softball practice without me on days that I'm sick. But I know that when it really counts, he'll be there for me. He can be super strict at times, and he can also be a total goofball, but he's my rock. He gave me pretty much all of my knowledge about softball and an inveterate hate for cauliflower. And he also gave me a really great dad. And some really lame dad jokes that just seem to be getting worse over time. Like when I told him I'd be giving a TED Talk, his first reaction was, "But your name isn't Ted." People change people. Your rocks are always there for you. They'll be by your side no matter what mistakes you make. They'll make mistakes too, but for you, they'll do their best. They'll have your back through everything and be a part of you the whole way. Number 3, my sister. In short, she's a genius with absolutely no common sense. I think a couple of screws got knocked a little loose in her head, and she's almost more chaotic than I am, if that's possible. She was like the book definition of a child prodigy. Reading full words in newspapers before she was 1, doing multivariable calculus in 7th grade, and she never got a B in her life. And as a younger sibling, that's a lot to live up to. I spent a lot of time being really worried that that burden was going to fall on my shoulders, especially in high school. So I decided to be the exact opposite of her. Instead of focusing on academics, I focused on sports and music. Anything she liked, I hated. Anything she hated, I loved with my whole heart. Everything I did for a little bit was just to make sure that I was nothing like her. I made sure my teachers didn't associate me with her. I made sure her friends didn't treat me like some mini version of her. Anything so that the bar that she had set so high would never even apply to me. People change people. I'm nothing like my sister, and at the same time, we're exactly the same. I am who I am because of everything she made me not be. And I am who I am because of everything she did make me be. People change people. Foils are unlike anybody else you'll ever meet in your life. They'll show you exactly what being your best self is worth and make you fight for everything you get. The thing with foils is that they always challenge you, push you out of your comfort zone. I was lucky enough, or some might say unlucky enough, to have somebody like that right next to me as I was growing up. For others, it might not be that easy, but they'll be there, and they'll be a huge part of what makes you who you are. Number 4, my childhood best friend. Sawyer was one of a kind. When it comes to friendships, ours was actually pretty short. I met her in the 1st grade, and she moved to Virginia in the 3rd. But she was really special to me. She was my first best friend, which was special in and of itself. But she introduced me to a lot of things that I really love now. I started doing gymnastics because of her, which was a huge part of my elementary school years. I did Girl Scouts because she wanted me to. I did the school musical because she wanted me to do it with her. And now musical theater is like one of my favorite things. She introduced me to Panera Bread, which is now one of my favorite places to go get food after a softball tournament. But more importantly, she taught me what it meant to be a good friend. She showed me how to be a nice, compassionate person, and I know that sounds really deep for a pair of 6-year-olds, but she did. I was better because I wanted her to be my best friend forever. People change people. Sawyer and I did everything together. We got up to so much mischief, and our moms were friends, and everything was perfect in our little 6-year-old world. I was kinder because of her, I was livelier because of her, and I'm honestly better because of her. People change people. Friends often get taken for granted because sometimes you have so many of them you don't know what to do. But someday, you'll come across those few very special friends, and they'll be unlike anyone you've ever met before, and you'll love them for being just that. They'll help you open up to different perspectives and show you a new way to look at yourself and the world around you. Number 5, my 4th grade teacher. She was this Indian lady, and her daughter was in the grade below me at our school. I think I was actually friends with her daughter. She was a really nice girl. But I used to think she had it out for me. I don't think I ever got above a B in her class. She used to pick on me so much, and honestly, it felt like only me. Obviously, I was 9, so I felt like I was the center of the world, but she was targeting me. Like she would change a complete answer on another girl's test and give her a full score, and then I would get an 85 for using instead of the. That class still gives me nightmares. Given it was cut off in February because of COVID, but that class turned me into a completely new person. I started writing essays for free response questions. I finally started boxing my answers in math, and if you wanted me to recite the 11 times tables, I could do it for you. People change people. My 4th grade teacher turned me into the perfectionist that I am today. Because of her, now I can never do a job halfway. I have to sing the perfect song, throw the perfect pitch, write the perfect essay. Nothing can ever be half-baked. But she also taught me that there's no such thing as perfection. I'm still learning that lesson. Because no matter what I do, there's always something that could be wrong, something that wasn't good enough. And that helped me to realize that I was good enough. I was good enough for myself, and I didn't need to waste my time being good enough for anybody else. People change people. Your critics will always manage to find something wrong, even in the most flawless of situations. No matter how hard you work, how well you do, there's always something you can do better. And they won't be afraid to tell you that to your face. They'll be blatantly honest, and you need to be willing to take it and learn from it. You'll have 1,000 critics in your life, and they'll always have 1,000 different things to tell you. But one thing that they'll have in common is that they'll show you exactly who not to be in life. Number 6, Disney. Ever since I can remember, I was watching Disney. I grew up singing, let it go, and playing with Rapunzel dolls. I had all the shoes and all the dresses, and we went to Disneyland every year, and I dreamt of castles and talking animals and happily ever after. From the ages of 3 to 9, I was parading around sure I was destined to be some long-lost Disney princess. Then, I got older, and Disney still followed me. I got into the stuff that was more mature, but still childish at heart. I got into Marvel and Star Wars. I know, not original Disney, but it counts. It counts. But that helped me realize my love for writing. I realized how much I enjoyed writing fan fiction, making the characters my own, writing the stories of my own. I realized how much I enjoyed drama and musical theater, how I loved finding different ways to come at one character instead of creating a lot of my own. All of these fantasy worlds and all these characters who resembled what I wanted from myself helped me open up to different perspectives of the real world. My mind became sharper and more innovative, and all of these fantasy worlds in my head helped me to think more creatively. People change people, and I know Disney's not technically a person, but it influenced me in the same way that one would. It gave me the same goals and the same perspectives, and showed me how I could be an influence on myself. People change people, and that means you can change yourself too. Your imagination is a really strange thing. No matter how much you think it's gone or you've aged out of it, it's always there. There's always something more to feed it, something new to discover. It'll evolve and grow and show you who you want to be in life. And it may not always be practical, but it sure is fun. And number 7, Taylor Swift. I didn't really know much about music or pop culture before the pandemic. That was like my moment of enlightenment, my awakening. Before that, the only songs I knew were Disney and The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. But once I got to middle school, all the girls in my class would gush about Taylor Swift and how they'd scored tickets to her concert. And I mean, obviously I knew who she was, but I didn't really know her music or anything like that. My best friend Phoebe is the biggest Swiftie you will ever meet. If we were at softball practice, it was a Taylor Swift playlist blaring through the speakers. If I was at her house, she was wearing Taylor PJs and singing Wildest Dreams at the top of her lungs. There was no escaping it. So I got into her music. And I got into it, and I got into it. Not because I loved her music exclusively or anything like that, but because I loved the idea of it. The thought that music could be such a big part of somebody's identity like that. People change people. There's a line in Avicii's song, The Nights. It goes, "He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember." And he says, "When I die, I want to be remembered for the life I lived, not the money I made." Taylor Swift helped me to realize that I want music to be the thing that gets me there. She helped me to realize that music is my passion and showed me exactly what my life could look like if I followed it. Not would, not for certain, but could, if I was lucky enough and I actually shot my shot. People change people. Your dreams will always seem like they're out of reach. They seem like they have the perfect lives, instant fame without even trying. But they also had to put in the work, and maybe someday, your dreams had dreams that seemed out of reach too. Your dreams are what push you higher in life. You want what they have, and every single time you get closer and closer. They push you to be who they are, so in return, you can be who you really want to be. The best version of yourself. So, this is me. And this is my mom, my role model, my dad, my rock, my sister, my foil, my childhood best friends, my friends, my fourth grade teacher, my critic, Disney, my imagination, Taylor Swift, my dream, and the millions of other people and things that have influenced me in my life. People change people. There's always going to be 1,000 empty spaces waiting to get filled by your next experience. But once that space gets filled, it never goes blank again. That influence stays with you forever and always. And that empty space right there, that's you guys. The influence that this TED Talk, writing it, practicing it, and finally being up here giving it has had on me. So I think it's time to fill in that space, don't you? People change people. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. So a list of the 7 most influential people in my life isn't enough to tell my story, or yours. But it's definitely a start. Thank you.